I can hear you a lot better now because now you're coming through my headphones. I was like, where these brothers at?
Yeah. What are these people behind me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Welcome to the VŌC Podcast.
Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 8 of the VŌC Podcast. Today, it's only me, Ronald, Vincent, and our special guest, Earl Alexander, the voice of Lewis in Left 4 Dead, who I spent over 2,000 hours with in Left 4 Dead, and it's a big pleasure for me. Welcome to the show, Earl.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. 2,000 hours. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I thought so. You got to be what is the book? 10,000 hours. And so, so you got another? It's a book. I think if they said if you spend like 10,000 hours or something like that, you're like a professional, or you can master something.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the limit. Yeah, I don't know really the limit, but that's crazy. I could never get to that, and I don't even want to actually. To be honest.
Yeah, I feel bad.
I gave hardcore gaming up a few years back. So.
Okay, cool. Because
I
it
did
probably
too.
take over your life.
Exactly, that was the problem. So that's no more. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you play games, Earl?
Man, I tried a few times and with my friends, but even when I was trying to play Left 4 Dead, and I couldn't get out the room half the time, because the camera's looking at the floor, then I'm looking up and I'm there, my friends are getting killed. Help! And I'm like, help, I don't know how to get out the room. So I needed to spend a little bit more time. I mean, I was starting to get there, but I had so much going on.
Yeah.
I could never quite get proficient. But I'm a little bit from the old school when they had the arcade games, so I never really, and Pong,
Awesome.
that little table tennis, ping, ping, ping.
That's awesome.
But once they come out with the new virtual reality where you feel like you're there, then I'll probably get
you'll lose it
more. Because this stuff, man, takes a lot of coordination.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Years of practice.
Yeah.
But also, things are coming back, retro games. People sort of want that 8-bit arcade feeling back. So maybe you can get into it again.
Yeah. If they come back, I'll get my Pac-Man out.
Exactly, yeah. But you probably have way more to do than that during the day.
Yeah. So what got you into voiceover, man, and acting and all that?
God, I guess
big question.
the very, I'm gonna do it real quick, but the first time, because I first time I even thought about acting, it wasn't even my idea. When I was in high school, I had to take public speaking to graduate. It was one of those mandatory classes, and at the end of, and I was always a jokester and clowning, and then the teacher said, Earl, could you stay after class? And I'm like, damn, this ain't gonna be good. And so she was also the drama teacher, and she said, hey, would you mind coming out for the drama? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And I said, but when is it? And then she told me like the month, and I was like, oh, I can't, because I'm a wrestler. So because I had been wrestling since like I was in like maybe 7th grade. And it was the same time as wrestling season, and she laughed at me because I was a jokester. She didn't think this cat is tough.
Yeah.
But that was the first time that anybody ever mentioned it. And then once I was in the Air Force, a friend said, hey, you ought to go out for the the Air Force talent competition because you're kind of funny. And I was like, no, man, I'm not doing anything like that. I'm like 20 years old at this point, 19, 20. And then she kept harassing me, just couldn't. I would see her, I would duck her down. Marvita Barnes, that's her name. And then she just cornered me. And so I auditioned, wrote some material, and did the little audition. And I ended up winning the contest and got to travel a little bit with them. But I always felt like something was missing. And then, long story short, I was going to a church, man, some years, and this was like 93, 94 or something, and they had a drama team there, and so I wanted to and the drama teacher was giving some free classes, so I thought, okay, maybe this could help me work on some stand-up. And at the end of the class, she said, hey, would you join the drama team? And she was also the drama teacher at a local community college. And so from there, I started taking some classes at the community college. And at the time, I didn't know you could even get a degree in acting.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
from there, I auditioned to get into a 4-year college. It was a Cornish College of the Arts. And then I got in, and I was 30 years old at the time. So I was a 30-year-old freshman. And so then I ended up getting my bachelor's in the theater.
Oh,
And so
actor.
and I'm an actor, a thespian.
Yeah.
And then it just went from there. So at the time, you know, I didn't know anything about voice acting. You just like, I'm on the stage, you know, doing, you know, being deep or whatever it is, just acting. And then you get an agent and they send you an audition. And at the time, this was probably 90. When did I graduate? I graduated in 2000. So right around 2001, you know, you get an audition. And at the time, you'd have to go into the office to audition. And for a little voice, but it's usually something like Boeing or Microsoft or something like that. And then I got and so that's how I started doing the voice stuff. Because all actors, I think back then, there wasn't, like, if you said voice actor, people would be like, what are you talking about? Because we were just thinking, I mean, but of course, if you watch cartoons, there was always somebody doing the voice, but, you know, you just never really, well, personally, I just never really thought about it.
Yeah.
And so since I live in a small market here in Seattle, so most of my voice work was like radio or, you know, our little Seattle Mariners, sports teams, or, but a ton of it is for companies that you never see. Like, let's say if you go for a job and they make you sit down and you watch the training video or something, and like they may have a company policy about emails, like, okay, don't click on this or whatever. And and then the guy in the background, a lot of times is me. Let's say you receive an email from an outside source you don't understand. Should you click or call your human resource department? You know, that kind of shit. And so when, but after a while, you start getting, oh, what's this game? And so that's basically how, and that was a long way to get to your point, but that's
still, that's a great answer, man.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, you go ahead. Yeah.
No, I sort of noticed like people were sort of you were maybe a little bit unsure, and people were pushing you like, we need you, almost like they needed to see this talent be sort of further developed. Almost, it seems like as you tell.
Oh yeah, not just because it's hard to see it in yourself because you just know who you are. You know you, so it doesn't look. You know, you don't know, but other people would always, hey, you should do this. You should do that. Really? Oh, you think so? And then that's, I mean, even Kevin Hart, you know, that's how he said somebody was pushing him. They told him, hey, man, you ever think about being a comedian or something? You should try this or try that. It wasn't his idea.
Oh, really?
I
didn't know.
I heard him talking about it in the interview, you know. And so it's, you know, I think that happens to, you know, to a lot of people. So that's, you know, that was my route, you know. So, and, you know, I never felt like going to LA, but now I'm starting to think, okay, maybe I'm, you know, getting some, now that the technology is, you can audition from home and do various things. And so I might look into getting an agent in different cities, because Seattle is a really tiny market, you know, for.
You should, you really should.
Maybe heading for Hollywood.
You know,
eventually,
because, or, you know, I want to go kick it in Japan first, and then I might go hit somewhere like Atlanta or something, because, you know, that's where they shoot the Marvel movies, like the Black Panther, all that stuff was shot in Atlanta. Because I don't know if you know who Tyler Perry is, but yeah. So he bought a studio, like it wasn't a studio. He bought some property. I think it was an old airport or something, military base, and he turned it into a studio. And so I think last year they filmed more movies there in Atlanta, more stuff than they did in LA.
Wow, amazing.
Gosh,
yeah, because the real estate is cheap. You know, it's a lot cheaper, and he owns the studio. And I don't know if Black Panther was the first big movie, but they definitely shot it there. You know,
wow, good opportunity. Yeah.
No, because the States, Have y'all been to the States?
Not yet.
No.
See, the
Planning on.
States it's huge, man. It's too big. It's too damn big.
Too
You know,
damn
it should
big.
be like, it's like we got 50 states, but it should be like 50 countries because they're
Yeah.
all, you know, a lot of them are different. And you flying from here to, you know, to the East Coast, that's like 5-6 hours. you
Yeah.
know.
Well, you know, in my country, people even like with family visits, they sort of refuse, like, oh, that's a 2.5 hour drive. I'm not gonna do that.
Right,
That's,
yeah,
you know,
right?
that's seriously.
2.5 hours. Be
Yeah,
like,
and that's the maximum. Like, you're not gonna
shit.
just have a coffee at someone that's just
Yeah,
driving
man.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Here, it's a problem. It's like a luxury problem.
But it
man.
really is. It really is.
Why?
Seriously, from one side of the country to the other is maybe a maximum of 3 hours.
Where
That's
I
it.
am,
What,
even
in
an
a
hour is a
plane?
lot.
No,
Well, in
just by car.
Damn. See, that ain't even a state.
I
See,
know.
Even in a little state, I can't. Damn.
I
If I
know,
was
yeah.
going to like Spokane,
Yeah.
Washington, you know, that's like a 5-hour drive,
I know.
and you're still in the state. You know, driving down to California. It's like, damn. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
The drive to New York from where I'm at in Seattle, man, that's like 2.5-3 days. You know, of just rolling.
My God.
So
Oh,
it's
Yeah.
crazy. That's why I said
this
it's
is
too
crazy,
big.
man. Crazy.
Well,
It's maddening.
that's the comparison. Yeah.
How,
yeah.
how are you holding up with COVID and all?
Well, I just got my first vaccination the other day.
Ooh,
Last
nice.
Sunday, almost
Amazing.
a week ago.
Amazing.
And so in about 2 weeks, I'll get the other one. But I got to hook up because, most of us don't have it. And see this, and I'm sure y'all, you know how things are in the States, probably to a degree. And
Yeah, we follow the news.
you probably
A
know
lot of news.
more than me because we don't even try to watch it. Man, it's so stupid.
I get it. I get
And
why.
it's crazy. But I got my COVID shot. Or one of my acting friend actually had gone to a website because I used to be in the military, so even the Veterans Administration, it's like if you were in the military, they can they can help you, and they were like, oh, you qualify for a COVID shot. Oh, cool, but we don't have anything to give you. Damn, well, why are you telling me?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so
Wow.
one of my acting friends got online, and she was finding stuff, and there's another group of volunteers, and so they're really like into it, and they would help like the LBGT community, and see, this is one of the few things being Black. They were like, oh, people of color, we got to help them. And I was like, what?
What?
There's a
My
benefit to
goodness.
being Black in America? I want it.
What the hell?
Oh
Okay,
my
so I
God.
got the COVID shot because she looked up and found me. So I was like,
The
what?
hell?
Okay, look here. This is crazy. One of my buddies.
Oh my
So his wife is white, and so
Uh-huh.
she was trying to help them get the COVID shot, and so they found him a place in one day to get the COVID shot.
No.
They took her
Oh.
over about a week before they found one for her, because
Oh.
usually it's the opposite. When you're a white female in America, oh damn, you can get it like
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
you can get shit like that. Wow.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, maybe this is a good time to be Black in America.
Yeah.
Hope
Wow.
this trend keeps going.
Gee. Wow. Well, there's a long
Oh my
road ahead.
goodness.
Yeah, and so
Gee.
I don't even know
Yeah,
how
man.
I got off topic, didn't I? I don't know where I
About
was.
a little
Yeah.
bit, but no worries, man.
Well, this is where we have time for. It shouldn't be like
Yeah.
perfectly strictly planned.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was your first project you ever worked on, man? Acting and voiceover related.
Damn, I don't even know if I can remember the first voiceover one. I think I do remember the first video game though.
I
It
see.
was this little small game called, what was it? Damn, I can't remember the name of it. But I remember a bunch of me and my, because all the actors, like Jen Taylor, who plays Zoe,
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
and what is the other one that she was really on? Cortania and
Halo.
Halo.
I
She
think,
was
yeah.
that. And so like I met her in like 2001. We were just doing a play together here in Seattle. So I knew her way before the voiceover, but she was doing voice work at the time, but not really. I think she was doing more just like regular voice work. And but not Casino Royale, Casino Empire. That was the name of that first little video game that I played, that I did, because a bunch of us theater people were doing them, and was doing that game. But then what else? I think I have done something like The Suffering. This game called The Suffering.
Yeah, The Suffering. Yeah.
The Saw games that after Left 4 Dead nobody ever played, but the Saw 1 and 2, because I was the Detective Tapp, the Danny Glover character in that game. See, I have to tell y'all some stories about that one, but that one later on, that was so I've only really done about maybe, I don't know, 9-10 games or something like that. Nothing too much, because it's really not that much opportunity out here for that.
There's not a lot of opportunities. That's why it would be much more worth it to get an agent, outside of Seattle. Like,
because the agent really, I shouldn't even call them agents. They're really like bookkeepers here. And I'm serious. Okay, Vincent, let's say you were putting together a game, and so you wanted to get the actor. So,
all right,
you might reach out to the casting agent, but if it's just the voice agent, see, the casting agent usually contacts all the talent agents. So if you got, let's say you're the video game developer,
okay,
and let's say I am I'm the not the talent agent, but what did I just say? It's like one in between that. And so you contact me and you say, look, I want to put together a video game. I need to get some voice actors. So then I would call all the talent companies in town. So let's say it's 10 talent agencies in town. So I contact all 10 and I'm like, I want an actor, send me some, I might give them the lines. And if I'm smart, then I'll say, okay, if it's something specific, like a Black person, I'll say, I want a Black voice actor. So then all of those 10 agencies will submit and so each agency might have 5 or 7 different Black guys. So they will all submit their stuff. And then once we get it, then we'll send it to you. Then you go through and you listening to all these ones. And then you say, okay, out of maybe those 50 or whatever guys, I want to listen to these 5. And I have them, and then maybe do it again.
It's sort of he's more like making the sort of laying the oh wow, I can't find my words.
But see, now I think a lot of people are
more like the groundwork, but he's not doing a lot of.
You don't have to hustle, because you're the client. And so, but a lot of times now I think they're actually skipping over the not the talent agent, but I can't even think of the name of the it'll come back to
agent?
Me. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
The casting agent. They now they might just go to the talent agents and just have people audition. And so I need to step up now you almost got to learn how to, I think it's not almost. I was talking to Vince the other day who's plays Francis. And see, before it was you would just go in and audition and so forth, or even audition from home. But now you got guys that know how to edit and make it almost like a production quality. And so when you can no longer just send, how the lines that I sent to you, that wouldn't be good enough anymore. Now you have to go in and edit and make it, take out all the breaths and they might even put sound in. So it's like, damn, I got to be a sound engineer now.
Yeah.
As well as just as to act. So
got to branch out.
This is going to work for you two, both of you guys. If you probably already know how to edit.
Yeah,
we do.
Sure.
So, I only know how to do a little basic edit, very basic, but I need to learn that. Learn how to do that. But
did you had any
crazy.
complications with getting back to Lewis? Like right now to the voice and the character and all that?
Oh no, how when I sent it to you heard the first. What did I say? The lines for.
Yeah, the
VŌC.
The following are lines for Lewis and the VŌC Podcast.
So that was just me, a regular voice, and then in the next breath, I was doing the Lewis voice.
Yeah,
exactly.
So,
Oh, that sounded. By the way, that sounded amazing, like jazz
Yeah.
radio.
Yeah.
It was like really. Oh, that was so smooth, man.
Yeah, very
Oh.
And so,
yeah.
well, it's because I had gotten up to, I got close to the mic,
Yeah.
and I don't know what I said.
Yeah.
Lines. What did I said? Lines for VŌC Podcast, something like that.
Yeah,
And then it was
something
like
that. Yeah.
And then it was, Pills here. Hey,
Yeah.
When all this is over, Francis, or whatever the line. Wait, no, what is the line? My favorite
I'm
line
going
from
back
that
to my
game?
old life.
Yeah, I'm going back to my old.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it was like, wait, when all this is over, Zoe, Bill, I'm giving you both jobs. Francis,
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you how to read.
Yeah. Yes. Great.
And so,
Yeah.
But I did have to listen to the Lewis's voice for a moment. I mean,
Okay.
so I can
Yeah.
go get the cadence and the rhythm
Oh, yeah.
back.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, man. Yeah.
It sounded very natural. Very
Yeah,
well.
it sounded very natural, very well. Yeah.
But that's okay. When I did, when you were laying the lines down for a video game, there just like that, but not even that many. It's like when I actually when I auditioned for Lewis, I had to go back and audition again because at the time we were still going into the office. But when that's because Lewis didn't look anything like the character you played. You guys seen what he looked like before?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
Yeah,
did.
it was crazy. But at
concept.
the time, we hadn't seen him. I didn't know what he looked like. It's like a video game audition. You don't know what the character looks like. And so if you're black and they don't tell you what it looks like, you assume it's just you playing like generic white male number 5.
Yeah.
And so like that line, when all this is over, I'm going back to my old life. I was
Yeah.
like, we were just like, when all this is over, I'm going back to my old life. But and then once I went in and they showed us what he looked like, he looked like more like a Black Francis. He had on a hunting vest, the cigar, and looking real tough. So then I was like, when all this is over, I'm going back to my old life. That's basically how I auditioned for that. And then they sent us another like a little retake, and then I was like, oh, okay. And so when I was in the audition, not the audition, when I went to record in the studio with Val, I didn't know how did they want me to speak. And they were like, I said, well, what kind of voice should I use? And they were like, well, we actually want them to kind of like a little bit like the way you talk, because my voice and Lewis's voice aren't too different. It's just he's more exaggerated.
Yeah.
Than
Exactly.
than me. That's about it. And I probably have a little bit more bass than he normally has. That's about it.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
But are you working on anything right now?
Not at the moment. And it's weird because when these happen, like an audition happened, it's crazy. You get an email that like, hey, can you send this in tomorrow? By tomorrow. It's never, for the voice gigs.
Yeah.
And it's never like you get a bunch of time. And and most of a lot of it's corporate, or even if it's a on camera shoot. And I remember I was doing something at Microsoft, and I was like, okay, look, why is it that you guys wait to the last minute and give us like a day or the same day the audition? I was like, obviously you knew you were going to do this for like a month. And they were like, well, because of legal. I was like, what do you mean? So all these places they got a legal department. So there's certain shit that you can say and can't say. So as soon as they get the go ahead from legal, they hurry up and knock it out. So they could have been working on this project for 3-4 weeks, but the legal, I don't know, we can't do this, we can't say this. And then they like, okay, it's okay. Then they, hey, can you guys audition quick?
My God.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
but it's still, for you, wow, keep the pressure on. The way to keep the pressure on.
Right. You're like, damn.
Gee.
Because most of us, to be honest, unless you, like most voice actors, there's probably a very small percentage that don't have another kind of gig. Or I would just say actors in general, but like the conversation Vince and I were having was, because he's more of a comedian, just straight up comic. He didn't go through like, the theater training and that. And so he was telling me one of the issues he was having like vocally is like some of the people didn't trust him as well. Like he wouldn't get some of the theatrical auditions or something because they's like, oh, he's a comedian,
Oh yeah.
He's just, he's not going to really, be able to do the deep acting kind of, or that kind of stuff. But which is, you should, I would say everybody, even if you're going to be a voice actor, should take one basic acting class. That's
Exactly.
just a basic one, just so for video game, I don't know if it's quite as deep, but I still think it helps,
Sure.
to know, because when I went in to Valve the first time, they hand you a stack of that damn big on, just like, wow, because it's a 4-hour session, and just like,
Jesus.
and so how I sent the lines to you this morning, that's how it is, except for I gave more reads than you would give them, because it's like, okay, here's the line. Like the line might be, look out, Boomer. So you just say it 4 different ways. Look out, Boomer. Look out, Boomer. You just say it and then on to the next line, on to the next.
Yeah.
But then there's, when you have a longer dialogue in there, and then you see, wait a minute, there's like 7 different kind of monsters here. And so that's where the acting part comes in, because I was like, okay, hold on. For me to be really effective, I don't know any of these monsters. So I wrote down on my little note, okay, well, what's the difference between a witch and a boomer or whatever? So I was like, to rank them 1 through 7, which one from weak to dangerous? Because if I see a little small scrub that I can just punch, why would I scream and act like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, as though it's a witch? Because then if I see the witch, I have nowhere to go. I'm screaming just as loud for the scrub, little street zombie, as I am for the witch. So that's where I think the acting class comes in, because it makes you ask questions like that. So you can gauge how intense you need to be for this character or whatever.
It's actually very good advice.
And then I was talking to Jen Taylor. We were doing a panel one day down at Rooster Teeth. This was some years back.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, oh, I don't do that. I just go in and read. I was like, that's Jen Taylor. But
it's like the first take wonder.
She's just reading, doing that stuff. But she got that voice, that sultry voice.
Yeah.
And so,
All right.
But then something like currently, anything you can talk about, anything you can say or allowed to say, like,
I can say whatever,
good. I mean, we talked about the legal team, so
but that was
new projects or coming up projects, or
like, if the only thing you would know in advance is if it was something I'm working on personally, or if it's a theater piece or something. But like, I can hang up with you guys and then get a call or email from my agent, like, pow. For something. So that kind of stuff, then you don't really get that advance warning.
I see.
As much. And so like, I think one of the misconceptions is, like, people think, like, if you see like people like myself or any video game guy, actor or whatever, that's our that's what we do for a living. That's how we get all our income. But it's too few and far between. Now, if you're already famous, or let's say you're on something recurring like a TV show, then it's different, because then you're getting paid on a continual basis. And so the way the pay scale, the way you get paid, it depends on how that game is going to be, or whatever that is going to be presented. Like, let's say if I'm doing something for Microsoft, but it's not going to be on television or the radio, then you just get paid like whatever that scale, what the union scale is. So it might be $400, $500 or something. Like, let's say that a big difference, let's say the Saw video game, since I mentioned that just went to like a console. So you just get paid like, I won't say how much, but it just was, you get paid a certain amount. Now, let's say if I'm doing something like Left 4 Dead, because, if it's going to a console, but it's also going to stream online. So they got to pay you for putting it online. And then they throw in a little bit more just to buy you out.
Of course.
Case. But the money is still kind of shitty compared to, I'm just being straight up, even though I appreciate the opportunity, but still, it's one of those situations where I think now they're adding more rules into it, because as an actor, you should get paid if it goes to a different country. Well, that's a different market. I should get paid some for that as well, you know.
Sure.
And so basically, I would say, it's getting better now, but it's kind of shitty. I mean, as just a straight up voice actor, man, because you're the last guy they call. They got everything set up by the time they call you, and you just come in and do it.
Yeah.
So, but now the way things are, the way the technology is coming, then now, because I got some stuff in my own mind and some people I want to work with, or we can, do our own projects.
Yeah.
And put out, as opposed to just like, okay, it's just like being in the movie business. I mean, not movie, the singing business. But before,
sure.
You had to go through a damn company and all that. But now you can, if you're the artist, put together your own stuff, put it out there, you get paid more. You can, pretty soon that middleman person is gonna get cut out, like Sony Records or whoever that kind of, that's my thinking way.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
You should keep it honest.
Are you in the Netherlands
Right now, yeah.
and wait a minute?
Record.
So the Netherlands, like, as in like Amsterdam?
No, it's I'm not gonna.
I mean-
I don't think I want to bother you with the actual town that I'm in, because it's not well known. Because I would just say, yeah, just keep it at Amsterdam.
Okay, but Amsterdam is in your country though, right?
It is.
Okay, I mean, because Americans, we're like ignorant as far as most of us as far as geography.
We
Certain
heard
places.
that. We heard that.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm like, shit, Amsterdam. That's still, man, you don't even know. We like the stories you hear about Amsterdam. You're like, damn, I'm going to Amsterdam one day.
Well, I'm surprised at what part got you convinced, because there's a lot. I think I know a few. Yeah.
Just to check it out. But now
Mhm.
everything here is like in Seattle, we like, you can smoke weed in Amsterdam and they got women.
Mhm.
What? Because now, where I'm at, you can just walk out to this corner store and buy weed,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's
if
sort of
if one was into that.
yeah. If we don't know anyone who does that. No, but I mean, it's not sort of officially allowed everywhere, but it's sort of like, they turn
Wait,
sort of a
it's
blind eye.
it's
Okay.
official
Um,
there.
Oh
Yes.
man, like, okay, so I can drive to Canada like before.
Mhm.
If you didn't have to wait at the border,
Canada.
within 2.5 hours, I'm at the Canadian border.
Okay.
About maybe 2 hours, I'm at the Canadian border. Then another half hour, you're in Vancouver. So years ago, because Canada is legal in the whole country. Just
Canada.
yeah,
Francis,
and so
we're in Pennsylvania.
there's just 2,000 hours.
2000.
But not so like in Seattle, in the state of Washington. I'm in Washington State,
Okay.
and so anywhere in this state, it's legal to buy weed. But the next state down in Oregon and California. But if you go to the East Coast and something, you can't. Like if I have weed in the car
Yeah.
and you're driving across the country, then you get stopped in one of the states because it's only probably legal in maybe 15 states.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You get stopped in one of the other states, you're getting locked up.
But again, but as probably if it medicinal, then if you
Yeah,
still
then
have it in your car, you still have a problem.
Yeah, I
guess.
think I don't know if it's medicinal, if they allow it in that particular state,
Oh yeah.
then you got to have your papers and you can only have so much and everything like that. I mean, currently I don't participate in the chronic, but there was a time I wasn't ever quite like Snoop Dogg, but I would smoke a little bit here and there.
I don't
Well,
think anyone
it
has got to
happens.
that level.
Yeah.
Apart from Snoop.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Earl, tell me about those screaming and choke sounds for Left 4 Dead. How were they, man? Tell me about it.
Oh, it's crazy because see, that's where it comes. If once you've done something a little bit, you just tell those guys, okay, look, we saving that to the end, because if you start to screaming, like you like the first hour, there's no way you're gonna make it through that with the same. I couldn't do that and still sound like Lewis by the end. Now, but then again, I think where taking a acting or at least a vocal class or something comes in handy, because if you don't know how to scream right, and even when you know how to scream right, it still can take somewhat of a toll. But if you don't, then your vocal cords are rubbing together, and then you're not. I wouldn't be able to talk like this if I'm screaming for a damn hour. So I'm like, okay, let's get all the lines out the way, and then save the screaming to the end.
Yeah, but how did they go through that, like, direction wise? Like, okay, you're falling from an amazing height from like a hospital rooftop.
You just gave almost too much detail.
Okay,
I mean, because they, hopefully, I mean, some of they're probably getting better, because some companies used to just whoever was working in the office was doing the voice work.
Oh, stuff. Sure, yeah.
And so
the writer.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of times they don't know. Hopefully they're getting smarter, but and I don't mean that as a crack. No, it's because okay, so when you come in and you're reading the lines, a lot of times that's the first time they really heard it being read by an actor.
Oh yeah.
So half the time, they're in another room in the booth, and you're over here. Then they're stopping at half the time and going, "Oh, I didn't think of it like that," or whatever it is. And so then, I probably should have got a couple writing credits, because I'm serious. I'm just saying, because they'll let you say it your way, because you might read something and you might even say something that's not on the page, because it's coming out more natural to the way you would say it, and they'll tell you, "Oh, do it the way you want." And so I'm sure some of those lines were the way I was kind of, I might have put my own words or two, in there, because that's just,
your resume just put in great at improv.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Improv.
Yeah.
But even in the audition, they'll say that now. They'll ask you, hey, to read it a certain way, if you feel like it'll, if it sounds a little bit more natural. It's just because they hadn't really sat down and had an actor read it. In my opinion, I would think they need to have a rehearsal, not necessarily in the studio, just have somebody come in the office.
Or like a table read.
Like a table read, like you doing in theater or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so they can hear it. Because even if let's say you're doing a play, say the author, let's say Ron he's the playwright. He wrote the play, and then he's having a table read. He's having actors read it for the first time. Well, in his mind, he know what he was thinking when he wrote that line. But then when somebody else reads it, that person is reading it from a different take. Then they're like, damn, I never even thought about it like that before. Yeah. So so it's just different. But if you had that opportunity before you went into the studio, then they can make some alterations or however they want to do it. Because when you go in the studio, they're charging you a lot of money an hour to rent that space. So they're like, come on, we need to go. Exactly. But if you were just meeting with them, then so that's why I would suggest just taking one acting class. Good.
Yeah.
Well, because you got to have a reason to speak. In real life, if you speaking to somebody, you speaking because you obviously got a point. You're asking a question. You're trying to get your point across. You need some information. So in real life, so when you doing it acting, it's the same thing. Why is this character even opening his mouth? What does he want?
Yeah.
What is he trying to get, or she's trying to get, or and so most of that work, is that behind the scenes character. What does my character want? What do I want? What is all this? So then when you do start to, hopefully it comes across with a little bit more intention when you do say it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we were wondering if Left 4 Dead 3 was happening, would you return, considering? Would you consider returning?
Oh man, if they ask me, hell yeah. But from what I hear, Valve don't usually do threes.
No, nope. Exactly. I'm good that you're aware of that. I'm very happy that you are.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm I try to have my finger on the pulse of the world, even though I can't game that well.
Yeah.
But as far as I understand, they don't. They don't. But if they did and they brought the characters back, like if they brought us me, what is it? I guess Bill's gone, so it'd be me,
Yeah.
Zoe, and Francis. Presumably, we took off to an island somewhere and we're chilling.
Yeah,
You know.
Matter
exactly.
of fact, there was a Left 4 Dead 3 in development. Like 3 years ago, there was a leak or something, and
I think that was probably hype. I mean, I heard about
was.
that. Somebody was supposedly in the Valve, and they went into an office and saw the script sitting out or something like that.
Well, we
See,
heard Lewis was supposed to be in there, so if that would have happened, actually, then
The reason I say I don't really give that much credibility is because I remember because there was only one time we all recorded the lines together, where me, Jen, Vince, and oh damn it, I cannot remember the older gentleman's
Jim
name.
French.
Jim.
French.
Okay, and I think he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was straight up old school. Okay, old school, like, when people would sit around the radio. I mean, he was an older cat.
Mhm.
When I saw him, I was like, damn, he's straight up like he was older than he was. Okay, Bill in the video game, he was like Bill plus another 30 years.
Plus another. Oh,
Dude,
wow.
he was about 80. I'm not lying.
Damn.
That's how dope he was.
Damn.
He was, but he's so smooth, man. You wouldn't know he was that old, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you look, can you look up his name and see how old he was when he died or something? But
89,
how old was
I
he? That?
think, actually.
see,
gonna
that's
do
what
it.
I'm saying. And so he was about. So then that meant, what depends on when he died, but he was about 80. Look, late 70s when I saw him. And so, because usually when all the other lines, I would go in and they got that stack, and you just lay your lines down and leave. The next person come in, do the same thing, and they just put them together. But when they were adding on one of the, the storylines for the game online platform, all of us got to be in there at the same time. And then that's where to me, that's where it's dope, where the magic gets to happen, because now we're talking and dialoguing like a play. I got my script. Somebody says the line, I'm saying my line, and you can feed off the other actor, and it sounds like it's more. To me, it sounds
more natural.
more real.
Was that for the intro video? Do you know that for the game when you
it was the
first
intro.
started up, like running, and then climbing up to a rooftop, and then like I can't believe we made it.
This was after Left 4 Dead was out.
Oh, after.
Oh.
This is okay. You remember the controversy was, I think part of it was with the original Left 4 Dead, they were supposed to, you go online and add all these other, different layers and stuff like that. But then a year later, they came out with Left 4 Dead 2 with some totally different people.
Yeah.
So then there was some kickback, pushback, because people were like, what the hell is this?
To the passing, I think, where the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors appeared again, right?
Yeah. So it was later on one of the online platforms where we were all together in that room. But the other stuff, like the intro, that was just them putting the lines together, making
do you by any chance know if Jim French, when you saw him talking, doing the voice of Bill, do you by any chance notice, like, how does he do sort of the cigarette in his mouth sound, like something ain't right?
Oh, because
something, it sounds
I wasn't
like
in there with them for those, because he's in there by himself, just like it's locked down. But he was a straight up old school, like radio cat, like before all this stuff, like before voiceover. He was, and sitting around the radio when you sitting there, around the, sitting around the radio listening, and he was one of those dudes. But he was smooth.
Oh, that would have been an opportunity.
You did know Vince and Jen before, right? But you didn't know Jim, did you?
No, I didn't know Vince before. I just knew Jen Taylor.
Jen Taylor.
Because like I said, Vincent wasn't a theater guy. And so I didn't know.
How was it to work with Vince and Jim French?
Like we only got to do it like maybe an hour or two.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour or two when we were all together, because that studio time, they charging you hella money, for the to rent that studio space. And so even though you think like a big company like Valve, they still got a budget. They got a budget for this project, and you don't know if the game is going to suck or not.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just don't at the time. You kind of like rolling the dice. Come on, pow. And so But by
Gonna
the
be
time
hit.
we all went in there, they knew it was, they had made gazillion dollars. So when the four of us got together and was sitting around the mic,
So you have met the Left-Footed 1 actors before, but have you met the Left-Footed 2 ones also?
no, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know them. Maybe if I saw them, and I might have seen them somewhere, but I don't know them.
I see.
Which is crazy because like Vince and I, we auditioned for that too. But the thing is, they're not gonna pick you to do another game because
Really?
because you're not the focal point. They don't want, their game is the focal point, and this is not a knock. It's just that's the business.
Yeah.
They don't want you to be the celebrity.
Yeah.
They want their game to be
Sure.
the celebrity.
Yeah,
You're
right.
definitely.
Yeah.
And so if they pick us to be in that game too, then now, oh, wait a minute, this guy might get too much power because now he's in both games. And they might start get demanding. I want this much money, or I want blah blah. So
I see.
it's a business. That's just what it is. But now if you're creating your own content, you can, which is some stuff I plan to do.
Exactly.
And I might send you like, okay, for an example, I'll after this is over, I'll send you a project that I worked on with another buddy of mine, the guy who wrote what is it? Something Roger Rabbit, Framing Robert C. Robert.
Okay, yeah, Framing
Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
He wrote some other stuff, and he did this thing called Killer Bowl. It's like a American football game, but they play it in the streets. But then you can have a sniper. It's all kind of stuff. And I did like a 4-minute version, but I did all the voices for it, But it's pretty.
I really want to hear
it has music and animation, and I mean, it's like comic book style though. So how you read a comic, so it's all illustrated, and so there's no moving, like the characters don't move, but it's like a comic book that like the camera might move a little bit, but you got the music and then the voice. So I was just doing all different voices on it, and it came out pretty cool. But I didn't know he was going to do the final one like that. I was just in the room laying down the lines for him to see if it would work, and then he took it and sent it off and had it all hooked up. It actually came out better. I was like, damn, if I would have known you were going to do the final like that, I would have done it better.
Oh yeah, of course.
And what is your favorite Left-Footed line?
The one with, well, of course, it's some of the pills here, or I think one, because it's hard, I can't remember all of them, because and I played the game a little bit, but I didn't like when he was shooting that damn gun. Do you like that? Yeah. But
great.
I like when he says "damn it," because I like Earl. That's me, Earl. Me, I'm more like "damn it."
Oh wow.
When I say "damn it," I say "damn it" like that. That was just. I wasn't even Lewis. That's just me, because I'll do it like walk around here, or when I was recording something for you guys earlier, I had messed up a line, and I was like, "Damn it," and I sound just like Lewis, but but that's the way Earl says "damn it."
Do you actually
This is
often
on
get
point.
recognized by the public? When you go out, do you get recognized for the voice or?
Oh, it only happened. It's crazy. It happened once. I was over somebody's house, and this girl was an avid Left 4 Dead player, and but because you would have to hang around me for a while to hear it come up enough. So she was like, "Damn, I know," but we had never met, and she was like, "Man, you sound so familiar." And then I was like, okay, what? Oh, then I was like, do you game? And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I know what it is. But I wouldn't tell her for a minute. And then I said some of the lines, and she was like, oh,
yeah. Oh my God.
Wow. But what's crazy? Okay, the craziest thing I think is if you do something popular, is people don't believe you, or if you tell them that you did something, you did that. If it's like, I don't bring it up, but if somebody brings it up, something, and I just happen to like, once me and my buddy was in a video store we were looking to buy a game, and then my buddy was like, yeah, that's that guy right there did the
I
Left 4
got
Dead.
worked on. I worked
And
on
then
that.
and they're like, because to me, the thing is somebody had to do it, right?
Mhm.
So why not? Somebody had to do it. It just happened to be me.
Yeah.
There's been other shit that I've done that I thought, oh, I've done better work, but it just wasn't popular. Didn't get seen.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Wow.
like
That must be
but
tough sometimes. Like I really, really wish people would have seen me, if you were really proud of the role or whatever it was.
you just wish it would get more exposure,
Yeah.
or not that people got to know you did it, but it's just
Oh.
nice to know that people, like the thing that I'm always flattered and just blown away is when people like say how much they really like playing the game and playing the character, and
2,000
like,
hours.
oh man, you brought that guy to life, man. That's like, you feel like you kind of know the character, but
Yep.
when you're doing it as an artist, though, at least for me, I try to because see, I love anime, and so I always like it when somebody leans it, makes it tight.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to do the best I can, like at least leave some of my soul on
Mhm.
when I'm done.
Exactly.
But then that's all you can do, and then you out,
Yeah.
But I think my favorite one was the one I said, when all this is over, Bill, Zoe, I'm gonna give you both jobs. Francis,
And-
I'm gonna teach you how to read.
And about
that.
I'm gonna teach your ass how
the
to
rifle range
Mm.
after lunch.
Say that. What is it?
read.
Was
I
what
mean,
was it? What
Not
was it
even
like?
I can remember it.
I'm gonna hit the rifle range at lunch.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think I
that
do.
one.
I'm,
Yeah.
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 I'm starting to remember that.
My
Or
coworkers
it's a
used
bitch
to laugh
apocalypse
at
now,
me or
bitch.
something.
That's also one. Oh, that was it's so delicious when you scream it. when
you
you
say-
scream that line.
Could you say
Oh.
that real quick?
It's a bitch apocalypse now, bitch. I don't know if that's the line, but yeah.
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 Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's so crazy because now we'll be like, once the game had come out, then it's real easy to go back and do Lewis, because even though it was me that was voicing him, I don't look at it that way. It's just like, okay, this is the guy. He's his own person. So, but it's easier for me to do it as opposed to just when you're creating, you're using your imagination and just leaning into, okay, well, if this was me, if I was in a situation like that and this is what's going on, you just,
That's even more real, actually.
Yeah. Oh, huh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you did some kind of DOTA stuff, haven't you? A fan-made announcer pack, something like that.
It never made it to light.
Well,
It never made it. Me and this guy, because that's the part I was telling you about with Valve. They wouldn't let me do it.
Oh, so Valve never asked you to do it like officially.
No. So it was at the time, I think, it was a guy that I worked with. I had a gig so I used to concierge at a hotel. Then I was doing theater and any kind of what we call commercial gigs, whether that's doing something because I'm out here in tech land. Bill Gates' house, from where I'm at right now, I could be at his house in 15 minutes. I used to work at a Hyatt that was like almost maybe 5 minutes from his house. Because I'm in Bellevue, like Amazon.com, just they're moving a portion of their headquarters that I can be there in 10 minutes. So Amazon's here, like UPS started off out here, and Microsoft, and I can name like other stuff that you like T-Mobile, but that's an American company. Cell
we
company,
have that here.
Yeah. Oh, you do? Okay, so tons of stuff is right in this area. So it's expensive as hell to live,
Wow.
over here. So a lot of these companies, you end up doing what they call corporate gigs or corporate videos, so you end up doing those kind of gigs, but you don't make a lot of money because they don't go anywhere. They're just in-house. So let's say you got a big ass company like Microsoft. If this is the new product that Microsoft has made, they're not going to send a little fax out. I mean, they got their own studio. So what they do, maybe they may film so now I'm a Microsoft employee, I'm a manager or something, and I'm talking to the team about the product and explaining, we're doing this video. So then they'll just send that video to the potential client already produced, so it's kind of self-explanatory,
Yep.
or whatever the situation might be. So a lot of work we would get like that. So but or advertising, but when times get hard, those are the first budgets to go. It's the advertising budget. So it gets a little tight. But yeah, I think I'm definitely, because I started a tour business too, like about 5 years ago, a tour company.
Really cool.
Sightseeing company. So it's called Puget Sound Tours. I'll have to send you I'll send you an image, so when you put it on your podcast, you can pop it up.
Nice, good.
Yeah.
But because I needed something to free my time up more, so when it was hard as hell. I ain't gonna lie, starting a business, know what the fuck I was doing. But I got it going pretty dope. So like if you went to TripAdvisor, I think I got it as high as number 2 on TripAdvisor, as far as it was like 270 tours, different tours. But
Wow.
I had a little bus tour I bought the bus on eBay. I swear to God, not lying. I bought the bus on eBay. It was like an old senior citizen bus. Then I got, had it painted and stuff. So when you're driving people around and you're like, ladies and gentlemen, there's the world's famous Space Needle. It was built in 1962 for the World's Fair.
Ooh.
Except I'm not talking like that. I'm just talking like, yo, man, check it out. And you drive them around. And so.
Oh, great.
And often after people always like, you should be a comedian or you should be an actor. But they'd be like, you ever thought about it? And then sometime I would let them know. Yeah, I'll tell them before, because they was like, I
you
know
don't
it.
know the half of it.
Because they were, we having fun. I'm entertaining, so I got it scripted, just like if I was doing a play. Like if you're doing a play on, if you're watching the, let me turn my depressing lamp. So my light is, because it's in Seattle, it's so rainy in the winter. People get depressed, and it's a big suicide area when people get depressed and you don't see the sun. So these lamps, you can buy these special lights in them, so you can get it's like emulate the sun to get it on you, so you don't be depressed. So that's kind of lamp that I got, that I'm using to shine.
Really?
I got one of those little ring lights, but this thing is bright as hell. But that's,
Oh my goodness.
but
Wow, it's cool to imagine you being on that bus and just giving out those tours. That's amazing. You know what? The first thing I need to do when I get to the States and Seattle, especially, I'm gonna book one.
Oh man, you just come on road, man. Just let me know.
I need to.
But I got some. Oh, if the 2020, if the pandemic wouldn't have happened, I think I would have been closer to pulling this off. I got something that's gonna be so dope regarding that bus. Y'all might have to have me come back, and then I'll tell you about it. I don't want to say what it is yet, but it's gonna be ill. Well, you definitely put it this way.
Sick.
If you're a player of Left 4 Dead, anybody's gonna be coming to want to, or any kind of zombie shit, you're gonna want to come take this tour.
Yeah.
That's a little nugget. And the dude driving might have on a white shirt and a red tie.
Ooh.
And then you can kind of see where this is going, right?
God. It's not just a little bit obvious. No. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely want to have you back. So if you want to, we'll definitely do that.
Hopefully by that time you actually polish your website on Facebook up and everything,
Oh man, I gotta be, a front. Okay, have y'all seen Left for Earl?
Yes.
Okay, so the girl who did that, my friend Michelle, Kill 9, she actually set up that acting Facebook page for me, right? And so I had forgotten it was there. To be honest, that's why I'm so illiterate with that kind of. I was so, and I didn't know. I really hadn't been using Facebook that much, and so I never saw that page. All I saw was my main page, and then I would say maybe a month or two ago, I'm clicking, and somehow I got to the acting page, and I looked. I was like, oh shit, that's right. And there was like, I don't know, so many messages and stuff. And I was, oh shit, was what I was thinking. There was stuff from there from years ago. People, I was like, oh my God, 2014. And I felt like an asshole because these people think I'm a jerk because I didn't, So I was trying to go through the answer, catch people back and say hi. And, so I was like, oh, so now I'm trying to get, stay up on it and do, just
If you need some help, we might help out with it. You know.
Yeah, man, because I'm like, oh, what the hell have I done? What's going on? You know,
Well,
and
you know,
I didn't
especially in
realize
these
I had all
times, you
these
can use it.
messages. And so
these times, yeah. I mean, I have a lot of free time, but I don't know. Left for Dead, you know, route to 10,000 hours. You know, I don't know, man. Maybe later.
oh, that 10,000 hour stuff, man. I'm like, come on, that's a long time. I don't know what, but there's a book a guy had put out. I think did I got that book? See, I got, people steal shit in the States. Talent Code, was it Talent Code? I think somebody might be stole it. So I was moving and I had some stuff on my tour bus, man, and somebody jacked it, jumped out and stole some of my books and all my electronic gear. But I think that book might have got, wait, is it this? The Talent? It might be that. I don't know. I think it might even be, the Talent Code.
The Talent Code. Great.
And I think because it talks about doing, I think this is the book. If you put in a certain amount of hours doing something, then you just naturally become proficient. And I think they was like 10, if you do something for 10,000 hours, you're like when we get off when we're done, if you just type in 10,000 hours on Google and you will see, it's like the new buzz term or whatever. If you do something that amount of time, then you're naturally going to be proficient.
I'm a natural.
You can do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
So tell me, Earl, how do you feel about being a zombie killer and a baker in the Curious George game?
the baker from now is Curious George where you are?
I think
not here.
Okay.
Well, I do know about it.
Yeah, we know about it.
He's a famous, like even when I was a kid, because I'm older now, but I'm just silencing my phone.
You're still smart.
And then
the monkey without the tail.
Oh, he doesn't have a tail. Oh
no, that's one of the common misconceptions that he has one.
Man.
People sort of remember him having a tail, but he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. That must.
I don't think.
Weird fact. Sorry.
No, that's like the Mandela effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Got it. Oh man, come on, man. I'm here, man. I'm man. Shit. Which is a trip. There is something that I think there's a couple things though. Maybe not that, but that Mandela effect stuff. But so he was like helps kids read and count and do all that stuff. So this is a good example. When for an audition, I had no idea I was auditioning for Curious George when they sent me that. Matter of fact, I don't think, I got an audition. And so I auditioned for it and I sent I know it was kids, obviously, some kind of kids thing. And so it wasn't until I was in the studio recording the lines and I stopped and went,
okay,
wait a minute. Is this Curious George? They were like, because they see, this is how crazy shit is. They don't want to tell you.
No, like unknown project name.
Yeah, it was just nothing. Like they don't. And then I was like, this is Curious George, because it kept saying, hey, George, And I'm just like, wait a minute. And then I was, that was probably one of the most excited. I was more excited to do that than Left 4 Dead. I ain't gonna even lie.
Ooh, well, that's.
And I didn't make Holly know. Well, because I grew up with him. I didn't know shit about wasn't no Lewis and Zombies. What the fuck is that? But Curious George, that nigga helped me read, son.
Oh my god.
He was famous. Everybody knew Curious George. And so, that clip. Oh, okay. See, now if you put this on there in your podcast, you're gonna have to have something so people can look or go find it, because they're gonna want to know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, they
definitely.
Because I sound like the whitest black man in the world on that one.
Oh, come on, man. No, you don't.
On that. Oh, come on. They're like, hi, George. A helper in the kitchen is just what I need to make some tasty treats.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Or raised by white parents.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
See, that's because in school they beat that out of you, because I didn't grow up in Seattle. I grew up right outside of Chicago. And so when I'm comfortable hanging around people, then like right now I'm not really guarded anymore, too much guarded, but I'm not sounding like straight thugged out, like, yo, what's up, son? But Because people, well, in the States, see, unless you lived in the States, it's hard for people to imagine how much race and stereotype and all that, whatever it is, takes precedence. So it probably sounds crazy as hell to some people. But if I go outside, you know, like, okay, you can probably see like my little Under Armour little logo or something. So there's certain brands or something like, and even the way I would look, that if I go outside, I'm trying to make sure I don't look remotely close to like a thug or any oh yeah. Oh, when I go out, man, I wear like shit that like white people wear. So don't, you know, they be like, wait,
Tommy Hilfiger.
He's one of us. You know, like
he's not a threat.
Yeah. I'm wearing like, dude, all my stuff is in the other room, but I'll be wearing, oh shit, I forgot. My green screen, I'm tearing it up. But like if I would wear some Brooks athletic shoes, or I'm wearing my North Face, or like some the running pants or something, I was like, oh hell, no true thug would ever be look like that. And so it's crazy, but because or else they just see black dude, but then when they look at, oh okay, never mind, he's obviously not a thug. So cool. You don't want to get, you know, stopped by the police or something, or even the vernacular that you use. Okay, let's say, I know I'm going off script, but this is
keep going.
Fine.
Let's say if I'm trying to get an apartment. So I'm actually moving back into Seattle at the end of the month. I mean, I'm over across the lake and I'm in Bellevue right now. And so, matter of fact, to get to Microsoft campus, their campus is huge. I can, within 10, not at most 10 minutes walking, I'm on Microsoft campus. And so, where am I going? So like, let's say if I wanted to get an apartment and I didn't want anybody to know I'm black, but at first, like if I'm on the phone, if I saw something and I'm calling about it, you know, the beauty of being able to, you know, change your voice or something, it helps, because if I picked up the phone, let's say they didn't want any black dudes, so let's say they had a black guy before and whatever, maybe he was loud or whatever. See, he's representative of all blacks now. So and so when I call on the phone, I'm not going to be like, and see, my name, Earl Alexander, is kind of neutral. It's not like, yo, this is Tyrone Jenkins. You know, if I did some shit like that, then they know I'm black. Yo, this is Tyrone. Yo, I see you got an apartment for rent. You know, is it still available? They'd be like, oh, I think it's just been rented. But if I call as Earl, I might go, hi. I was calling in regards to the advertisement in the newspaper or on Craigslist. Is that one bedroom still available? Oh, great. Could I possibly come take a look at it? Because I don't want them to know, or if by chance they know that I'm black, then they was like, oh, due to the diction and the vernacular and the way that he spoke, he's probably educated and non-thug. And then when you show up, you just make sure you're looking nice. You got your little button-up t-shirt. I need to make a YouTube video on this, but really for black people, because some black people want to go out with the pants sagging or whatever, and then you wonder why you get stopped by the cops. Well, shit, look at you. You looking like thug number one. You know?
In a gangster movie, you're always thug number one.
But you shouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't get stopped because of that. But
no,
I don't know if you guys know who Dave Chappelle is over there. But okay. And so
love.
Okay, so good. So you know, so he's talking about like if a woman's walking out and you got on the high heel boots, the short skirt, and your titties almost out, you look like a hoe. And so then if somebody, you know, approaches you, oh damn, what's up, shorty? With all that ass. Let me get up on that. Then, you know, then when she want to get mad, you're like, well, damn, you look like a hoe. You got on the uniform. You wearing a uniform, that's what I thought. You know, and so I apply that, even though it shouldn't be the case, but if I'm out there wearing a hoodie and some, you know, some Jordans, and I'm looking, you know, somebody want to roll up on me, then, you know, I'm just saying it's not fair.
Crazy.
But you understand what
I know. You sort of have to change your way of life for other people.
Yeah, that's the States, man. That's just crazy. That's the real the States, but it's usually is not as bad as when you're watching the news. a lot of the stuff is like rare and you know, the crime and all those kind of stuff really over the years has gone down. It's just that you see it more. So you know what I mean? Because now everybody has, soon as it happens, boom, it's up online. Somebody's showing something. So let's say the murder rate could have dropped 50%, but to the rest of the world and everyone else watching, it looks like it's happening more because you see it more. You just had like 4 TV stations. You didn't, you know, back in the day.
Half-Life 2. So could you please clear something up for us? Because you played someone in Half-Life 2 episode 2, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of, but I think I know what you're going to ask. Go ahead.
You played Griggs, and I mean, you were supposed to play Griggs, but it wasn't you. You got replaced. John Patrick Lowry did the lines, and you weren't there. We only got to know that you actually were in the game. There was a leak on the beginning of this year where your lines got leaked, and then we actually got to hear them. So you're not in the game.
Oh, you did get to hear him?
We
finally got to hear what it would sound like. That what initially was planned. Yeah.
Oh, so okay. Well, since y'all know, y'all haven't heard about it. I mean, I don't know, but I can't even tell you. But I think I know what happened.
Okay.
So
very curious.
Yeah. I mean, this is just my opinion, but it's my opinion because I was there. But it goes back to what I was talking about. Damn, y'all are like detectives, man. Because I'm like,
what? The research.
Okay, damn, how would y'all know that? That's crazy. Okay, so I just got to be real as fuck on this one. So
please do.
This is one of those situations where, you know, it was after Left 4 Dead, and they, you know, a couple of the guys from Valve called me in to do this. I don't know shit about Half-Life or anything else, but I think, you know, it's one of those, again, a little bit, I would say naivete a little bit on their part, because they're just like, okay, you know, here's some pages, go ahead, do it. And so I'm doing like, I mean, that's how I'm interpreting.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, you know, the game had been out for a long time. And so, you know, if you want a certain product, or if you want me to sound a certain way, you got to tell me how you want it done, or at least give me some kind of something. So I'm trying to I'm laying down the lines, and I'm making inquiries like, well, I don't think I was giving them what they wanted, but I don't think they weren't clear on what they wanted.
I mean, you sounded pretty much like Lewis.
You know, so that's what I think they wanted.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, you know, well, just say that. I mean, that's because I started off. There's a lot of it that I don't think I wasn't sounding like him.
Okay.
At first, on that, at least to me, because I didn't want it to sound like him, but I think they wanted it to sound like him.
Oh yeah.
If that makes sense. So now I don't know what goes into the decision making. They might have gotten it in the back room. I mean, when they got back to the office, and somebody else been like, wait, he sounds too much like Lewis.
That could be,
you know.
Yeah.
And then
sounds reasonable.
Or I mean, but I just felt like in that session we were having like, it just, you can feel, to me, it developed into a little bit of tension.
Ooh.
Because I was like, well, I don't know what you want. I'm not, I didn't feel like, you know, I would say they didn't feel like, I didn't feel like they were quite satisfied with what was going on, but at the same time, I felt like they weren't they knew what they wanted, but they weren't quite saying it. And so I reduced or deduced that they wanted it to sound like Lewis, which is why they probably did sound like Lewis. But then if they got back in the office and other people are like, wait, he sounds too much like Lewis.
Oh, wow. And then you already recorded all of it.
And I've already recorded. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So but did you get paid for it?
Oh, fuck yeah. You get paid
for it.
Fuck
yeah.
Well, that's
but just wanted to be sure.
I would have burned that fucking building down, son.
At least that's
gonna pay me. I know right where it is too. I'd have been out there with my little gas can and shit. Gonna pay me.
Torch that.
No, but I don't want this to get the wrong way that I got any mad. I mean, shoot, man, Valve was down. If it wasn't for Valve, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So I'm grateful, you know.
Probably, yeah.
That they gave me the opportunity.
But we are grateful too that we sort of met you through Valve, actually.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
Seriously.
that. Yeah. Because really a company is just, I mean, I just dealt with like a couple representatives from the company,
Okay.
you know, who aren't even probably there anymore, you know. So that's, you know, this is like if you went to a hotel, you went, let's say it was the Hyatt, and you had a bad experience with something. Well, that might have been 10 years ago, but I didn't have a bad experience with those guys at all. It's just that one particular thing. I was just looking at what it could be. Like I've done like a job before. I don't think so. It was for Expedia, I think it was for.
Oh.
And so and I've gone in and they got this guy called Bill Nye, the science guy. And they have, and I was to do the, y'all know him too?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. And so I was the voice to introduce him in this thing. It was like, and then I was like, hit it, Bill. But I did some other talking about Expedia before I said it. And but when it came out, there was a chick doing the voice. Of course, I got paid, but because, you know, you don't know what goes into the decision making when, you know, when they go in and they hear and it was, you know, my voice was, it was more like a deeper, you know, obviously a black man voice. Sounds like nice and cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But then if they're thinking and they get in, well, you know, we want it to be a little bit more friendly. Let's go with like if they had hired another guy to do it, especially if it was another black guy, then it would have been like, oh, my work sucked. But when they go with it was a Caucasian female, then it was just like, oh, we're going a different direction because, you know, this is a product we're trying to make, maybe it's reach more people. And so you know, you have no idea what goes into it. Once you do your stuff, you just go and leave. And so I'm just going to apply that might have happened with the Half-Life.
Yeah.
Because it's like, or else you're like, damn, do I suck? You're like, well, I don't think I suck.
No,
you know, because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I just think that I'm looking into and the fact that you guys told me it sounded a lot like Lewis.
Yeah. It did.
Made me go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I might even want to hear. Damn, y'all went deep into that. Yeah. You know, because I remember asking them about the guy, the character. What rank is he? What is he? Is he, you know, what is his status or whatever? It was kind of going on, trying to figure it out because I had no idea. But I do remember now asking those questions.
Did you get answered, or did they said what they wanted, like a deeper voice or something like Lewis was?
I see that's the part that's just kind of a little bit vague. I mean, because it's been years.
Yeah,
of course,
since that. But I just remember them like, you can sense something. I was like, okay, they want something, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember asking like, well, what, I just remember like being a little like not clear on what it was.
Maybe they went into the studio not even really knowing what they wanted in the first place. Maybe that's some idea, but like maybe they didn't agree with others in the room.
Well, because it's only like two guys in there at that point. Like when I was doing Left 4 Dead, it was like the first time it was like 5 cats in the booth. And so when they don't want you to hear what they say, and they just hit the switch and then they have a conversation and then they plop it back on. But this one, you know, so I don't know what they were saying, but it was definitely from my end, I didn't know what they wanted.
Strange.
Yeah.
Especially. Wow.
Well, hence when I started talking earlier at the beginning of the conversation about how if they got, had table reads or had some stuff, some focus a little bit, but with the Left 4 Dead questions that I would ask when I was doing it, I would ask a question sometime and they mute me and have a conversation among themselves and then come back. But it was clarity once they came back.
Okay.
That to me, that was different because then I know what you want. And they may not have been aware of what they wanted at first, but once they consulted among themselves, they got clarity. This time, I think it was just the two guys in there and maybe the guy, the sound engineer. But I felt like I never knew what they wanted. I felt like they just, okay, he can just turn on the magic,
Oh, sure.
So, but if you'd have told me what you wanted,
it might have been something.
I could have laid it down.
You were unclear.
And Vince was, when I was talking to Vince, he was feeling like, like when we audition for some other stuff, like for Valve, when I see the name come up though, now if you're, it's like if my agent sent me something and it was Valve, you're like, oh man, I might as well not even audition because no, I'm serious, because they don't, like I said, it's not about you. They don't want, it's about the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And okay, this is what this is something I do want to say before, like, so that Saw video game, when I went in, and so this is what I really call them, bookkeepers. And I don't care if my agent ever hears this, because this is what it is. So I did the first video game, the Detective Tapp, right?
Yeah.
And so then because they don't have many games here at all. So when they were going to do a part 2, and I had no idea it was going to be a part 2. And so there was a rumor going around that there's a part 2, right? And so some more people were on it. And so then I had asked somebody that I knew had something to do with this thing. And it was like, oh no, you've already been cast, so you don't even have to worry. Oh, okay. I just thought, that's how gangster I am. Shit, I'm just in it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and so once I get to the studio, I don't know what it is. Then it's Saw 2, and I'm playing the same character. And I was like, oh, see, this is some bullshit. Because now I'll tell you how much it is. Because, I got like $800 for the game in the first one. And then like the same for the second.
Oh, dear.
And
then you were more of a supporting character, not really a leading character anymore. I was the same dude,
right? But they don't want you to come back and ask for some money.
Actually, in the second part, you weren't even credited. That's the thing.
So. Oh, is it? Oh, I don't even know.
You weren't credited in the second part, no.
Well, they have to put your name on I guess they don't want to. They don't have to, but they're supposed to put your name on it.
Well, they should.
But I'm definitely in it.
I know.
Because they couldn't do it without me. Because one of my buddies played my son in the movie. In the game.
Wow.
Oh,
cool.
So, and because the Detective Tapp, it becomes about his son, because I think my character's actually dies.
Ooh.
So, but it's it's flashback scenes with me. So I'm not in it that much. But
still,
that's some bullshit. And so I was like, oh, so my agent was on some bullshit.
That's a bullshit. That's some country ass bullshit.
Well, kind of is. But do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
I see.
Definitely.
Because I had the thought, you know what, I shouldn't even do it. I'm in the studio, fuck it. But I don't want to be that guy. But it's just the disrespect from those guys, because I don't want anybody to hear this and think I don't want to work with this guy, because it's not that, but there's a certain amount of disrespect. I would have done it. They'd have just told me what it was, but it's the fact that they're like, oh, don't tell them it's part 2.
I see.
That does not make sense at all.
It doesn't, because
from their end.
So
right.
that's why I call them bookkeepers, because when people think of an agent, they're thinking of the Hollywood version where they got somebody out shopping, pitching their client for you. Hey, I got the guy for you. You got to give him something.
Yeah.
Like the too many buttons down, like sunglasses all the time indoors, and that type of guy. Yeah,
exactly. These guys, they don't want to make any waves, because they're afraid, because the market's, well, if we get a reputation for having demanding actors, then they won't call us anymore.
Ooh.
But there's nothing demanding about that. I don't think that was just, oh, that was cold. That was. Yeah. That's not going to tell you until you get there. That was actually kind of stupid. But I don't think I got any negative reputation anywhere,
No.
Oh, good.
Oh no, because it's just like, man, because I consider myself an artist. I want to work, but don't shade me. Don't.
Well, people love you and the fans love you. You have a huge community behind you that you probably might not know.
Yes, I think I'm just starting to really realize, because I'm like, I'm gonna start. I want to drop some of my own stuff, so I might already have a little base out there I don't even know.
Yeah, you should totally set up a Twitter account and all social media. I mean, the fans are really calling out for you and the others from Left 4 Dead and all that, but
not just only Left 4 Dead.
Not only Left 4 Dead, but other stuff too.
Now,
you don't want to be typecast.
Before we get to the end, could you do your best impression of Bill and Francis?
But see, I don't know them. I mean, because I didn't play the game that much, I don't really get to know their voices as well.
I
like with Francis is like, let me see, what could he, would it be something he must say? Something about don't let it, don't stop me from spilling it all over yourself. Wait, what is some
Oh,
line he
yeah,
said to
yeah.
Lewis? Something like
Jesus,
that.
don't let
Yeah.
that stop it from smear it all over yourself. Yeah, yeah.
Jesus, Bill, or some shit like that. Let me see. I don't know if I can do his as well.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Merry Christmas. I don't know. I can't do it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Where Bill is more like, he has more of that old, like, raspy,
Yeah.
like, look, son, don't throw. We've just made it. What is it? We just went one block.
Oh yeah.
Don't throw a party until we get out of the city. Some shit I can't do his. It would take
Yeah.
me. I would have to listen and imitate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen to it a little bit to do
I'm
Bill's.
seriously surprised that you know their lines just from the
Yeah.
top of their head, from your head. I mean, that was recorded like
Yeah.
2007,
seen-
maybe.
No, I've seen the intro.
Oh, you've seen it lately, maybe.
The intro, like not recently, but enough
Okay.
to where I can kind of remember a couple lines.
Nice.
Ah.
And like Jim Francis, she's about to get killed or something.
Thank you to Earl Alexander for joining the VŌC Podcast. Hopefully, we'll get to see him again in the future.
Yeah, just let me know. Give me a shout.
I will.
I'm back.
We will
will.
do, man.
Peace.
See ya. Please.
This has been VŌC Podcast.
How do I end this?
Thanks for watching the VŌC Podcast. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like the video and subscribe. Oh, and press that bell icon too. That way, you won't miss a single episode. Now come on guys, let's play some Left 4 Dead. Pills here.